Yes, the conversation will not end, and it's not going to end anytime soon. And the truth of the matter is this: we actually have a Renew Hope agenda. And the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, actually looked at the faces of Nigerians and told them that he is here to serve them and he will not turn his back on them. He said all this during the Democracy Day celebration before he went to Dobale at the Eagle Square.
Caribbean officer for today's historic occasion.
But let's look at some of the things that have been done by his ministers and how they are putting their fingers in the eyes of Nigerians, just like Emiloko did during the campaign when he did like this. And it showcased that I'm going to put pepper in your eye, and everybody is actually experiencing that peppering right now. They spent 21 billion naira, 21 billion to finish a house for the vice president. After they went ahead to spend over 2.5 billion for the renovation of the VP's house, and they still went ahead to spend over 20 billion for the construction of a new apartment entirely. And you said that these people actually mean well for Nigerians. Let's look at the money that is being spent already for the construction of Calabar Coastal Highway. Businesses that have been destroyed already. Let's not even look at that. We have seen some of the work that have been done by this current administration. Nigeria is one of the homeless, states in the world. People sleeping under the bridge. Go to Nyanya, go to Kubwa by NMPC, go to Lugbe by police signposts, go to some of those flyovers, go to Julius Berger roundabouts, go to Area 1. All those bridges and flyovers, you will see people sleeping under the bridge. Visit those places in the night, visit those places daytime. This is FCT, and for crying out loud, even the FCT is not even having lights, right? It's not even having light. What will it even cost the government to provide 24 hours electricity for FCT? If every other state will not have 24 hours, at least the seat of power should have 24 hours light, yet there is no light. To look at this in context, there have been comparison between Nigeria and Kenya. I've done videos about what is going on in Kenya already, and Kenyans are on the streets. They said, no, we can't take this. But when it comes to Nigeria, there is one oath that binds Nigerians together, and that oath is religion and tribe. And that is the reason why you see the politicians can push Nigerians to the war and nothing will happen. They will break that war and keep running. If not, how can the president, spend 4 billion for the renovation of the resident quarters for the president? They spend 2.5 billion for VP's renovation. They spend 4 billion for the renovation of the barracks, Lagos, or official address of the president. The renovation of official quarters of the VP, 3 billion. Construction of official complex in the presidential villa, 4 billion. Purchase of presidential yachts. This was, during the last year's supplementary budget, 5 billion. Then 1.5 billion for the purchase of vehicles for the office of the first lady that never exists. They went ahead to spend 2.9 billion for SUV for the presidential villa, 2.9 billion for the replacement of operational vehicles for the presidency. Nobody is saying that some of those things are not worth doing. But the question is, at a time when Nigerians are hungry, at a time when Nigerians are exporting nothing, you are spending this kind of amount of money? Now, just a few days ago, we saw on the news where they are spending over 200 million naira for changing of tires. Presidential tires. Wow. Nigerians are hard-working people. When you go to some of the states, you will see that many Nigerians, majority of those states are people living in those majority of those states are farmers, predominantly farmers. Go to the northern part of the country, and I've seen a video clip which we have reported on this channel before, about the commodification of naira, and the young man say use cassava. You are not exporting anything in this country. How do you expect your naira to gain value? You cannot have value when you export nothing. And imagine that we can actually produce enough cassava and export that to Europe. You can export that to whole Asia, and all of that can be done even within the West African region. But are we exporting? No, we are not even producing. Why? Probably because of the farmers' herders clashes. Many people have been chased from their villages and all of that. And the government is not looking at how these issues can be resolved. You are looking for foreign direct investment. You are looking for this. All the money that I just mentioned just now can actually be channeled into production. Just imagine that in Burkina Faso, the government, military government, came out to give details of what they were able to achieve the last rainy season. And in this current rainy season, they have now purchased over 400 tractors for farmers, fertilizers subsidized for farmers, for students to go back to farm, and they said another dozens of those tractors and fertilizers is on the way. And they give vivid details of what they were able to achieve 2 years ago, last year, and what they intend to achieve in this farming season. But what is our Minister of Agriculture doing? Does he even have any knowledge about farming? All we know is just have a bunch of people wearing agbada strolling around Abuja doing nothing. And then you turn and look at Nigerians and say, I feel your pain. You don't feel their pain. The constructions of roads and some of those things that these people do sometimes, it is just merely for their own self-aggrandizement and just for their own ego, to have something to point at, say, yes, I did that flyover. Is it necessary? I did that pedestrian bridge. Yes, it may be necessary if that place have a lot of traffic. But what do I know? Thank you for watching.